my initial thought about that stuff is if I go and spend $5 grand on
It's $3,500.
whatever.
Yeah.
So
It's less than.
I'm just gonna constantly be right in my eyes, like your iCloud storage is full. Would you like to like I don't want an update?
Would you like to ask apps to track you?
Yes.
Yeah, but you also have to think about.
With all the technologies that are out there, why wouldn't the submarine that went down to look for the Titanic
good.
have a GPS in it or a Find My iPhone or some shit?
I thought the same thing. I just read that this morning. I was like, what?
I guess there's not cell towers down there, but still.
You'd have something to ping,
some sort of
right?
redundancy, like a failsafe.
Yeah, and then I saw some clip.
And also, why is there not something attached to it, like some cable or something? Because it's a submersive. It's a submersive. It's not a
submarine.
It's not a submarine, so it requires a mothership. Like a
something above it. Yeah.
Yeah, another ship to monitor it and
big old fishing pole, reel it up.
Yeah.
They're basically on a giant hollow lure.
So it's the mothership's fault.
Maybe the aliens that live under the ocean got it.
Do you think that's a real thing?
I don't know.
In the ocean, aliens? I mean, if I was an alien, I'd make base in the ocean.
I've read, there's some discussion about that. Yeah, the possibility.
Why are you staring at me right now?
Because I'm trying to just wrap my head around that.
Apparently some of the UAVs or the UFOs or whatever they've seen and they have video footage of, or I can't remember what the term is. They're multi, like they can go underwater and they can fly and then go and then submerge themselves in water and then come back out of the water.
Amphibious.
Okay.
Yeah, they call it multi something.
Multi made up shit.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But
they call it CGI.
Honestly, I don't know what to think about a lot of the UFO stuff. It's bizarre.
I think that like UFOs, like them releasing all that stuff, I think a lot of it is probably them like trying to hide their own technology, like the military. It's like, oh, we don't know what it is, and it's like something they're working on. It's the perfect cover when you think about it.
I've had that theory for a long time that it's like the Rothschilds and the very top, whoever's running the whole show, that's how they get around. They use that stuff, and then we're like, oh, look at that alien technology, and it's like, that's just what we got.
Yeah,
did work for that dude in that submersible.
Yeah,
he's just some dudes having a fun weekend, dude.
Yeah, well, I think of like the ocean as like all life in there is alien life.
Sort of, yeah, to us.
Yeah,
yeah. I think the tickets for that submersible were
$250,000.
Yeah, $250,000. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, one of a prominent billionaire from I guess the UK was on board.
That's weird.
And the founder of the company was on board.
That's weird that gives me a little bit of that somehow. That's creepy, right? That it gives me a little twerk of a smile to be like, yeah. Even the sharks are
I think
like,
I think it's some irony that they were going down to see the Titanic,
which a lot of rich people died on.
Yes.
Well, the same thing's going to happen with going to the moon, going to the outer space.
That's a known risk. Yeah, there's all types of things that could go wrong.
I saw a clip of some like 60 Minutes clip or some Discovery Channel clip of somebody that actually did a thing about taking that submersible. So it's been on shows and stuff before.
Oh, okay.
Like,
it's not the same one that.
And it looks just.
It's not the Cameron one. No.
James Cameron? No. Okay.
No, but it's like they control it with like a video game controller.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's top of the line. It doesn't have GPS.
That's pretty state of the art. It goes down like.
James Cameron was actually on the deck of the Titanic when 9/11 happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Or outside of the deck.
Yeah. Floating above the deck. Yes.
On the mothership.
Yeah.
I have a stepmothership.
Dana Carvey was in his Turtle Man suit from The Master of Disguise when 9/11 happened.
How do you know this?
I don't know. I heard the story, but I heard both those stories on podcasts.
So Dana Carvey's career was unraveling.
Yes.
At the time of the shoot.
Carvey, by his career unraveling, I think is a little.
He's doing fine now. Yeah.
Yeah. But something happened with him that he didn't discuss a lot about. I don't think it was. He has sense, but he had some crazy shit happen with like a disease, and then the doctor fucked him up worse.
Yeah.
And
it
cost him like years at his peak.
Wasn't he supposed to be very difficult to work with too, though?
I don't know.
I I was thinking, there were
especially
some
for his
issues.
doctor. I mean, that guy. But it's like it was something along the lines of like he needed a kidney removed and they took the wrong one or something.
Oh no,
it was. I don't know what it is. It's
something real serious.
Yeah.
Hey, you said something about the dangers of going to the moon and going to Mars, and now with AI and robotics, and I think so. Tesla is creating a humanoid robot that has fully articulating hands and it walks bipedally and it's a really advanced robot and they're only a year into it. It's pretty impressive already.
Why is he so far behind?
Well, I think he's like right on the forefront and
of a humanoid robot.
Yeah, an AI powered humanoid robot. Yeah, they're like right in the front lines. There's only a handful of companies that are developing these things on that level, and
hasn't Boston Dynamics been developing like humanoid type robots since?
Yeah, they have some of the best technology, but their robots are more industrial. They're not. These are robots designed to work with humans, like even at your home. These will be a different class
like that show,
of robots.
Humans?
I haven't seen that, but
it's a British show. I think is like everybody has like a humanoid robot, and then a couple of them gain consciousness. And
it'll be something like that probably. But I would imagine I suspect.
That. Oh, I said it's Detroit Become Human. It's a video game, but
I suspect that the Tesla bot that Elon's probably planning on using that to send to Mars. Also, I mean, he wants to have them in people's houses, and they'll be like household assistants, like waiters or butlers or whatever, just to help out around the house.
That's such a funny term, waiters or butler. Who needs a waiter or butler in their home? Like
wouldn't be bad.
A butler?
Or just an assistant.
Like
just call it a home assistant.
Okay, assistant. Yes.
They can just do all the stuff that
go cut
you don't
the yard.
Yeah. Yeah, and then and it'll that same AI it will not just be in that robot. It'll be in your phone. It'll be in all your stuff. So like you'll just be talking to the same entity like Jarvis on Iron Man, but it'll be in multiple devices. It'll just be in your cloud. So you'll talk to your AI assistant on your computer, on your phone, on your robot, in your car. It'll just be like almost like a friend, like a super genius, super intelligent assistant. Yeah.
And then you have on like a ring or a bracelet or whatever, and it also figures out what's happening with your heart.
Yeah, it'll be monitoring you. Eventually you'll have nanotechnology in your body that'll also help monitor you. And but these assistants will be able to help you with every aspect of your life, but also
I'd hate to have that nanotech in my body and then it's like the new one comes out and then I can't like piss right because I got to update it.
Yes. The guys like me are like, that computer should work. I just bought it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're like, I got to keep updating my every couple months I get like downloading new thing to take care of viruses. Like now I got to trust them every time. And fuck that. I'm not doing that.
Update iOS in my body, and then I like in the middle of the night. You know how you do it like at night to update, and I just wake up and shit my pants or something. Like,
well, yeah, when you get an update, you probably just shit out the old ones.
Yeah, maybe.
And you bring in the new ones.
You gotta wear a diaper or something.
But I think Elon will probably use those Tesla bots for the first mission to Mars, just
instead of sending humans.
Yeah, instead of humans, because as soon as the AI inhabits those humanoid robots, especially when GPT-5 comes out, these higher level, and whatever Tesla's working on, they're working on some kind of large language model too, or large AI model. But I think these large AI models, they're already developing their own code, designing their own chips. In a lot of ways, the humans are working for the AI. And
I was thinking that, like when I was like, go cut the grass, like I would have all that technology, and that's the thing I would be like, can you go cut the grass? Like,
well, yeah, because
I think I should go cut the grass, and that my robot should continue working on solving the world problems.
Well, if you enjoy, well, I can do both. They can solve the world problems and cut the grass at the same time.
That's what I do. I put on some headphones, cut the grass, and solve the world's problems.
Yeah, sometimes those menial chores are great for thinking.
Yeah.
But I think once the AI inhabits these robots, it'll start to improve the robots, because right now they're a little slow and clunky. But if the thing inhabiting the robot is smarter than a human and smarter than any human engineer, and it is using this avatar to interface with this physical reality, it'll quickly be able to determine what things need to be changed and improved and how to make these improvements. And it can probably even simulate the improvements in its mind and show us exactly what to do, or it'll just do it itself. Eventually it's gonna
Why wouldn't it?
Eventually it'll do it itself. It'll use the tools and equipment and it's connected to the machines that make the products. So it'll do all the design work. It'll design new robots from the ground up on its own. And we'll just watch it. And it'll design new equipment to improve parts.
Yeah.
It'll do everything. And you asked if an AI will pay your bills or pay your rent. Absolutely. I don't think you can pay your rent without AI in the future. I think the AI will do all of our work, and then humans will do more creative things. We'll be
none of this is happening.
What's that skeptical look, Tom?
I don't think any of this is happening. That's
Why?
what I mean.
Well, the good thing about you and about us, all of us, we're artists. So I think in the future,
I'm just a smart ass. I'm not an artist.
well, you're a smart ass artist. But I think in the future, art is going to be one of the most popular fields.
Really?
Yeah, art and creativity.
Why wouldn't AI just be like, once it gets some intelligence, just be like, you know what? I'm a terrible idea, and then shut itself down.
Could do that. But there's always going to be like lower level AIs that aren't quite on that scale that can still do more than we can. Yeah, GPT-4 is likely a powerful enough AI to do most of these things already. It just hasn't been. It's still just in such early phases that it hasn't been researched in these different areas.
Yeah, hopefully it's like when the internet came around. And I was like, the internet.
You thought it would go away? It's a craze.
It's a fad.
Yeah, what would benefit us of being connected to each other? Like what?
See what I mean? That's backfired.
Us sharing information, that's ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So going to the moon? So humans won't go, and why is a humanoid shaped robot the most efficient design for a robot?
Well, I think they'll tell us. They'll let us know. Yeah, they'll decide
to interface with our world.
But I think
now, I guess, yeah.
I think it depends on the
job or whatever the robot.
The application of the robot. So like if it's a robot that's going to live in your house with you and assist you in your home, it would be beneficial to look like another human or humanish, humanoid, because you're just going to feel more comfortable with it. You'll align with it more easily. And
I think I would trust it less.
But on a construction site, maybe a robot that has wheels or multiple legs or both,
treads.
or treads or different forms of transportation capabilities, and maybe more robust, more mechanical or industrial,
stocky
in nature. Yeah. So I mean, there'll be robots everywhere for everything.
Okay.
And another thing that's really fascinating to me right now in technology is the new Apple headset.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Pretty high price too.
The AI,
now,
the VR.
Well, sort of, but I don't.
For what it does, maybe not.
I don't really think it is for what it. Yeah, the new VR AR headset. It's.
All right, tell me about it. I've seen it. It just looks like another VR headset.
Yeah, and Seth can show an image of it on the clip, but it's a low profile headset.
What does that mean, low profile?
It's thin. It's not as thick as the other generations of headsets.
It looks like a pair of goggles, kind of.
Yeah, it looks like a pair of goggles, and
goggles.
it's got this sort of like a lens on the front of it. It's like a tinted black lens, but when it's turned on, you can see through that lens. There's a screen behind it, and if you're using AR, augmented reality, where you can see things in this space, then you can see your eyes through it, and so you take the device and you turn it around backwards, and it does a 3D scan of you. And then it creates a 3D avatar of you. And then through that 3D avatar, it projects your face through this lens. So it looks like you just have these goggles on and you can see right through them. And you can still make eye contact with people as it tracks your eyes and your facial movements and everything. So it really looks like your face through that goggles or through those goggles. And then, and from what I've
with the expression of your eyes and all that kind of stuff.
All of it. Yeah. It looks real. And then when you're using the AR, the augmented reality, the things that you're putting into this physical reality, or viewing in this physical reality, or manipulating, they look real, and you can manipulate them with your hands. You can resize them and rotate them and all this stuff. And it has hand tracking. There's no controllers. It has very precise hand tracking. I think it has like 16 cameras externally, and then sensors, and then it has cameras internally. It's highly advanced, and it has 4K resolution. I think higher than 4K resolution in each eye. And so when you're looking at everything around you, your surroundings, and AR,
if you don't have good vision, can it make up for that? Or let's say you're blind, could it reach? I guess
I don't think you can do that.
All right,
that'll happen, but this can't do that. But
like Jordy,
what this can do is if you have your computer in front of you, and you look at if it's a Mac, and you look at the screen, you can actually remove that screen and put it up in just put it up in front of you and make it larger.
Okay.
And or have multiple screens. You don't even need the laptop though. You can just have screens, and because this thing, what's really impressive about this device is it operates on an M2 processor, which is a really powerful chip. It's Apple Silicon. It's the same processor they put in some of the MacBook Pros.
Yeah, we got the M1 here.
Yeah, and that's a really powerful.
Yeah, it's great
computer. But so it's got a MacBook Pro level chip in it, and then it has another chip called an H1, which is the chip that controls the sensors, like all the cameras and sensors and that sort of thing. And so it's a high power device that goes on your face. And then when you're in VR, from what I've seen from the reviews, it's amazing. It's very realistic, and there's just so many applications that you can use with this device, and you can read clearly in it, so you don't have the screen door effect from like you do on some of the earlier VR models. And so I think what I think is going to happen, I've seen some tech reviewers say they think it's going to replace the iPhone and stuff. I think this new Apple headset's going to replace laptops. And I think it's going to be way more convenient than a laptop. It's light. It's you can do way more with it. You just put it on. You can use it in public because you can see. If you're in AR, people can see you through it. So it's not.
What about battery use?
Well, that's a problem with it. It only has, I think, 2 hours of battery time, but that'll increase exponentially. But so it'll be in a couple of years it'll be 4 or 5 hours, then it'll keep going up until you have just 20 hours like a laptop.
What about solar power?
And also,
what about having that shit strapped to your face and brain and eyes? Like, it seems very.
There's probably some harm in all technology, that wireless technology, but we're going to use it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I think the other sciences that offset the dangers, are helpful, and you do have to worry about vision and stuff like how does it affect your vision over many years of use. But we can regenerate eyes now. They've just done studies recently where they can.
By we, you mean the very few could afford to have their eyes.
No, it'll be cheap. It's just mRNA
you
technology.
Really believe in technology. You really believe that it's like.
Dude, the technology in this phone. If you had all the technology in your phone back in the 80s, this would be millions of dollars of technology.
Okay,
so
that's fair.
It does make things cheaper.
That's a great idea. Send Tom back in time with an iPhone. He'd still be like, I can't get this.
Because now there's nowhere to connect it to.
Tom would rule the world.
Yeah.
But you're saying with the VR, like same thing we were talking about the updates and the next thing, and blah, blah, blah. Like, my initial thought about that stuff is, if I go and spend $5,000 on
$3,500.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's less than.
I'm just going to constantly be right in my eyes, like, your iCloud storage is full. Would you like to? Like, I don't want an update.
Would you like to ask apps to track you?
Yes.
But you also have to think about, like, if you're stressed, you can just go into like a calm, serene environment, and
I could do that anyway.
But you could do it without going anywhere.
You could have road rage, and it's like putting you in a relaxing spot, and then you can't see while you're driving.
Have you seen any of the? Have you even tried VR before?
Yeah, I did. Well, a couple technology. What I'm saying is that one will be useless in 3 years. It'll be like the first iPhone.
Well, it doesn't come out till next year, but yeah. It'll be useless. All technology
obsolete
is obsolete every year, but not obsolete, but it's way behind.
Right.
I mean,
it doubles every year or whatever, right?
every couple of years, but it's
No, there's a specific, right? Moore's Law or whatever.
yeah, every 2 years it doubles. But that's not all. That's like a broad range of all technologies double, but some more than double every 2 years. Like AI right now is at a few months ago, AI was at a 12x. So every month was like a year of development, and that's exponential. So that's even more today than it was 3 or 4 months ago.
So back to so my son had a VR a couple years ago, right? And so I've gone into them and they're okay, they're fine. They're just like, oh, that's cool, a mountain. All right, or like I played, but your brain believes it. Like have I told you the story about when he got me to play this game? They were playing Plank, which is
the heights.
You got to balance on that thing.
Where you walk out on like 187 stories, and then it's like you balance. My fear of heights was real. Like knowing it's a game didn't matter. It was like when my son was like, "Now jump," and I'm like,
No.
and well, so that's low resolution. So imagine that in beyond 4K where it looks real, like where it visually it's indiscernible from reality. That's kind of what the Apple headset will be like.
That's
But
both cool and scary because, like I said, my brain, even though I logically know that it's virtual reality, and that's on the other level. Now, whatever's happening it won't matter. My emotions, all the feeling, that makes it real. It's real to something in your brain, and in your very physiology. It feels real. I wonder if that goes away the more you are in the.
No, it actually gets better.
How's that better?
Because you get used to it, and it starts to become like you're like the longer you're in VR, the more it feels like you're in a real place, and you adjust to it, and then you're just like, oh, this is just where I'm at right now. And then when you come out of it, it's kind of strange.
That's more of a worry to me, and I don't know why, but
it'd be hard to separate. Oh, this isn't real; it's the VR thing, and then you
or you come back to reality,
shoot some guy in the foot, But I mean, I doubt that would.
Do you ever wake up like from your dreams or whatever from the night and be like, I
do.
I have a fucking shitty life.
I have very lucid dreams.
But so that's what I mean. Like that makes.
But in VR, your body is not there, so you still feel like you're here. It's just submersive. It's like mental submersiveness. Now, eventually, when we have brain,
I think that's more of an interesting. Like that's the worry. Like that your brain is being submersed and it's being manipulated.
When we have brain-computer interfaces, then you'll be in a reality like that. And you'll feel like you're physically there. That'll be really profound.
What if you're like loaded into one and they're like, oops, we put him in the prison one, and then you're like, you know what I mean? You can't get out of the prison.
Yeah. That'll probably exist. Oh, you'll be able to go to prison remotely.
Yeah, it's just like Black Mirror
You'll just be caged
stuff.
in your house.
You're 25 to life. Can I just do that from home?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we don't have any space, so just stay home.
Instead of an ankle bracelet, you got to wear the thing.
Yeah.
They do the thing like in Black Mirror. It's like, he's sentenced to 30 years, and he gets sentenced to 30 years, but it's like 3 seconds in our time. But it's 30 years in the VR time or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Well, that's another thing too. We were just talking about.
That's great.
Well, in some ways, yeah.
Yeah, you get out and you're like, oh, my clothes are still in style, or
I'm interested because I feel like your brain and your physiology and all that stuff, if it believes it's aging, I'm surprised that it doesn't. Like your DNA doesn't.
That actually might be healing. That'd be like a really bad trip. You come out of that and you're just like, oh, I'm so thankful to be alive and be back. That was like you were in hell for 30 years, and then.
Could you tap into
unless it's some authoritarian government just making you compliant? You're like, I'll never do that again.
Yeah, I'll never
question you guys again.
Yeah,
that'd be horrible.
I couldn't see that happening.
No.
Can you make people good people? Like you put the headset on and they got to be good people in the new land?
Well, I think that would be a great way to reform people without having to physically restrain them. Or you without having to deal with them physically. If you could help them in a virtual world, they can't harm you. So that's
most people in the real world aren't going to be able to afford the virtual world.
None stuff will be free for everybody eventually. It will be.
It'll be like a city bus.
It's like cell phones.
Thing?
They have to give them away because they have to have people
if I have the
using
track phone VR,
it'll just be all like funded by advertisements and stuff probably.
I'm in the middle of this. I'm in prison and I'm getting Spotify ads.
The reality is we have unlimited or unlimited resources. We just don't know how to efficiently access those resources. There's energy in everything, and once we learn how to harness energy at higher levels, I think eventually money becomes sort of irrelevant. I think
it's not real already, so it's right. So,
yeah. So but it becomes less of a, like, money and power and those types of ideas sort of become useless and non-productive. They already are non-productive, but they really become non-productive when we have an abundance of everything. If we reach that level, we could obviously.
It feels like another way for us to ignore reality.
What's reality?
That's a good question. So, but the reality, we live within the physical laws of the universe and the physical laws of the planet and the physical laws of.
I don't necessarily believe in physical reality.
Again, of course.
I don't know I don't know what reality is, and it seems like it's not physical. It seems like it's all information. And even if it is physical, it's all energy. It's not even, there's nothing physical about reality. Even the reality that we understand through physics is not physical.
Did that Mercedes feel
energy.
real? Did it feel like a real physical reality when it smashed your leg?
Well, the interface that's how we interface with the information. I'm not saying that it can't kill you or hurt you or harm you, and our experience is physical and real, but it may not be that may not be the function of reality. It may just be information, and we're just information interfacing with the rest of the information.
So we just have to spend our lives with, I don't know, could be anything.
No, in that case, I think we as we develop new ways to interface with the information in a more efficient way, we gain new abilities and new understandings of what reality is and how we connect to reality. Maybe we become more connected to our reality, and it gives us more possibilities. We can, instead of traveling with these physical biological bodies to Mars, we could just beam our consciousness there with a laser. Or we could just teleport there instantaneously through quantum entanglement, some kind of wormhole or something. We just become these conscious.
You can't even get to this recording on time. Now you're going to be off sending your consciousness to Mars.
Well, I could be here and there.
That's
good
Simultaneously.
That's good for you.
Even with the Apple headset, with the 3D rendering of you, if we were FaceTiming or we're doing like a conference, we could technically, with that technology, we could scan this room, the studio, and have an identical 3D model of the studio. And then with our headsets, we could actually meet in the studio and be having this conversation. It would look just like this. It would seem like this. It wouldn't feel quite the same, but it would be really close because we'd still be sitting on furniture in our own homes. And we would all be remotely in the studio, but not really physically in the studio. It would just be like a simulation.
Man,
but it would still be the same effect.
You make me excited to go into the Apple store when they come out and put it on and see.
Yeah, you should definitely check it out. I mean, I'll probably get one. So
yeah,
when it comes out, I'll probably pick one up.
It'd be a good episode.
Yeah, we'll have to do an episode, or at least a demo of.
Yeah, try to do it with the Apple stuff.
Avatar version of me reviewing the headset.
Yeah.
How do you film the other reality?
I'm sure you can just connect it to. Just, I guess, connect through
screen grab.
Well, you can do FaceTime. I could do a Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of different ways I could connect and record it.
Is that so that
because I could connect to our.
So this review you're giving me of what it's going to be like doesn't come off like the one review I read, which was like, yeah, it seems like an expensive version of what's already out there.
Well, that's not somebody that's really into VR and AR and the latest tech. All the top tech reviewers are really excited about it.
What's the difference between VR and could you explain that real quick like I'm a dummy?
So AR is viewing objects within our physical reality. So if you have it in AR mode, you can see your eyes through the lens. And so you're interfacing
Why
with this reality.
Why would I want to see my eyes?
Well, so other people can see them. And so if you want to talk to someone in this reality, you're not just seeing a blank screen. You can actually see I'm looking at you and making eye contact, and I'm having a communication with you, which activates your mirror neurons in your brain, and It's empathy. It's an empathetic conversation. It's like a human. It's a fundamental human interaction.
Eye contact.
I wonder if my brain will still do. Doesn't vision fill in a bunch of stuff anyway to your brain that's not necessarily.
Yeah.
So
sure.
will it do that? Let's say like
It'll still work the same.
Yeah. Will there be a delay too?
No.
It'll be instantaneous. What happens regularly here in reality to what happens with augmented reality.
Yeah. It's so quick you won't notice the delay. I mean, there's always a delay. You have a delay anyway.
Right.
But it's so minuscule you don't notice it.
And if it starts to like pixelate or whatever, I wonder if my brain will then do the thing it does with my eyes, which is fill in all that stuff.
I mean, there's probably going to be a little bit of the uncanny valley. I haven't seen it in person.
What's uncanny valley?
You know, it's like where it looks almost real.
Human.
So like
And
when
it
you
freaks
see
you
my
out.
eyes looking through the device, it may look a little CGI maybe, but I haven't seen it, and I don't know if that's the case or not.
I'll be amazed. Like the eyes reveal a lot.
Yeah.
You know? So
Well,
I think that part of that is the life and the consciousness that's behind them. And so I just can't imagine that they'll
Could you imagine
be able to
looking-
project that as, even if it's 80%, there's a thing
it's
that's
more than
missing,
that.
you know, that's,
It's probably 99%.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really advanced. So I mean, but in AR, if you had a headset and I had a headset, we were both wearing our headsets, and we were using it in AR, and I had a piece of artwork or something I developed. I designed a 3D artwork that I designed in AR or in VR rather, and I just wanted to show you. I could just like toss it to you. You could catch it, or I could push it through the air. You could catch it. We're both viewing this same object in.
Do I have to catch it? Can I stop it with my mind right in front of me and look at it?
No, but you may be able to stop it with your headset somehow if you had a. It depends on how the.
So you're throwing me an
works.
imaginary thing that I could catch in my imaginary hands, but I can't stop it without using my imaginary hands?
You're not Morpheus.
Is it imaginary though? You know, it's if it's something you created, it's information. It's information that's.
Would I feel it hit me
It's been
if I didn't
manipulated in a specific way, so it's real. It's just not physical. No, you wouldn't feel it. Now they do have. We will have haptic suits and all that stuff. They exist now. You can buy them currently, where you can feel objects. Like I could throw something at you and hit you with it, and you would feel something hit you because they use air, like pressurized air, and they'll have hundreds or thousands of little
Nozzle things.
air
that kinda-
pockets.
What a pain in the ass.
They're like little air balloons that just will fill up, you know,
What
to
a-
give you tactile experience.
But if you threw something at me in the AR, would I
You would use your hand to catch it because it tracks
in
your
physical
hands.
in this physical reality, I would reach up to catch it.
Yes. You just wouldn't feel it. You would just catch it and be able to view it and manipulate it. And you know, that'll be, engineers will use this technology, or doctors or professionals will use this technology to view things in AR, things that would be very difficult to view in a physical reality without a lot of equipment.
Oh
machinery.
yeah, I've seen things where people like get into a cell or whatever. Like that.
Oh yeah, that sort of thing. You could look at things on a microscopic level.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like if you're a surgeon, you could take and expand an organ or something, and you could, like a MRI scan of an organ or something, and really get in there and look at it with AI, and the AI
Jarvis
could show
your colon.
you something that you need to pay attention to, and you could go in close enough to see, well, if I need to operate on this tissue, this would be the best way to do it. That sort of thing. Or mechanics, like if you have an engineer that's building a new type of engine or some electronic device or some mechanical device, they could, expand it and look over it and see how to improve it, or how it functions, or there's so many, it's endless possibilities.
You make it like when my son's getting ready to go to college right now, and I just feel like the people that are in college now and the people that are going to college, it's in the next 3-4. I just feel like it's going to be so far behind that all that shit's going to be useless.
Well,
What do you mean?
like-
The stuff they're learning?
The stuff that they're learning and stuff isn't this.
yeah, but
And
typically
this stuff is going to so revolutionize the job market and what's needed,
Yeah.
and what they've been doing for what people have been trying to get good at for the last 6-7 years, and for the next 3 or 4 is going to be useless in the next, like, oh, cool, you're an engineer. We don't need those anymore.
Well, I
You
think
know?
college is I think the main benefit in college is
Learning how to learn.
learning
Yeah.
how to learn, learning how to research, learning how to interact with other professionals. I think there's a lot of things in college you learn that you don't necessarily need for the job. I think you learn a lot more in the field than you do in college. I think
you don't think high school and college is
preparing you.
Yeah,
it's a prep.
But isn't it?
And you'll have, and if things advance that rapidly, you'll have to have an AI to help you anyway. So you're never going to stop learning. You'll have an AI assistant that can do the things you do better than you, and will constantly be coaching you and assisting you and guiding you through the process of whatever it is that you do. And it may even be doing it for you. Maybe you're just like George Jetson and you go to work and you just push the red button and just sit there all day and watch it. I don't think it'll be like. I think it'll be a lot of human AI interfacing and co-working. And also another thing we have to consider too is Moore's law is humans developing technology, and it doubles every 2 years. Moore's law, I don't think, accounts for AI developing technology. When you have a super intelligence that's developing technology and it can do thousands and thousands of years of research in minutes, maybe. I would say Moore's law is going to exponentially increase also.
Yeah.
I wonder though if AI and computers will have the same. Now I forgot what I was going to say, but there's the human ability to tap into. Let's say for instance that the creative force that we are, the way we manipulate interact with whatever the universe is and whatever consciousness and energy are, like the manifestation of like nothing exists. We have the idea.
Yeah.
We create the thing. We speak it into existence, so to speak. Would a computer or AI have that same, whatever that life connection is, built into them, that they'll be able to manipulate the universe in the same way that we as humans do?
I mean, it seems that it's already doing that, because if you look at these large AI models, they have creativity and an understanding of
So if they exist already, if they exist at all, then they're connected anyway.
So AIs have the ability to reason today, just like a human, and they learn like humans. They just can take in unimaginable amounts of information. I think GPT-4 was trained on. They haven't said specifically, but a lot of experts suspect it's around 1 trillion weights of data. So I think the model before that was maybe a few 100 billion weights.
But what I'm saying is that's different than whatever that is that people believe, or that.
Well, I think AI is just an expression of all of our ideas. It's like the internet coming to life.
It's our highlight reel.
Sort of.
Some of it's probably bad too, but you know.
Yeah, but it's also able to expound on top of that information, and create new information. So it's not just limited by the information it gained from us. It actually can learn and,
like a human kind of,
and create new ideas, and it just like humans do. It can take our ideas and express new ideas, and it can look at all of our ideas in different perspectives simultaneously, which is really fascinating. It's like,
will it take into account the ideas of other animals and species and pieces of life?
It's very likely that within a few years we'll have AI that can communicate with animals.
Oh, AI gorillas.
So you'll have
I'll get my AI to tell the ants to stay the fuck out of my house.
Maybe so. I mean, there'd be some communication.
Or you could just pick up your crumbs.
I really hope you're right. Whatever. I just think that there's not enough energy, and there's not enough whatever in the world, and there's not enough time.
Well, I heard Ben Goertzel.
What we're doing to the planet.
Ben Goertzel's an AI expert. He's an AI scientist, and he's developing some pretty powerful AI technology. And he's a good dude too. He's a very pro decentralized power guy, and so all of their technology, I think it's Singularity.net maybe, but all of their work is all decentralized, open sourced. They're real big on cryptocurrency, not as a currency, but just as blockchain technology to keep things decentralized, so no one can gobble up all the power and harness this power individually, or no corporation or whatever. So, but he had made a comment one time that there's enough energy in your hand to destroy the whole planet. And And so
I am Iron Man.
If we can learn how to harness the energy that is just all around us, we have unlimited amounts of energy, and we will. They just created a satellite recently that could take solar energy and beam it to Earth, and it worked.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, there's as these technologies advance, we'll do things that we've never even imagined, unless we destroy ourselves, which is very possible.
With the satellite laser.
There's the Fermi paradox. Yeah.
Oh, and it also destroys the planet.
Yeah. Send that energy down there. All of it? No, not all of it.
Or we just create a black hole or something. It just sucks us into it.
There's your energy.
Yeah.
There's even a theory that black holes are just advanced civilizations that have reached these high levels of technology, and they just become this singularity of everything.
It's like a dimension we can't even
they just
process.
absorb everything around them, and just constantly using so much energy, you just can't see what's happening.
Like light.
I mean, to me,
well, they could.
To me, you're like AI.
Could be light.
You know what I mean? Like having a conversation with you is like you have so much information in you. It's like you're like what AI is. Like if I was to have an AI, he would have all this information that you have in your head and be able to explain it to me.
Yeah, just curious. But AI would be like
there's a difference between curiosity and being able to retain that information
and seeking it out.
But imagine being able to retain all the information and then articulate it perfectly to infinite numbers of people simultaneously.
You're not doing that.
No.
We have an exact number of people you're articulating it to. What's that number, Seth?
That's the scary part about AI is with the next iteration of these models, when GPT-5 comes out, there's no human that can really understand GPT-4. When GPT-5 comes out, there's no human that can do anything better than that thing can do. And there's no human that can even measure its. I mean, it's real. It's hard to believe because it is so profound, and it's so fast. It happens so quickly.
Did it though?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they've been working on this since the 50s.
Exactly. That's not really. I mean,
but for AI to be
too long,
that's too long.
For AI to be like on a level where it's getting the attention of other people and it's doing really impressive things. I guess whenever the algorithm started to get really advanced, that's when we first started to see the power of AI, and that was probably 10, 12 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. But I don't think anybody imagined just in 15 years that we would have AIs that could do anything we can do. That's.
I feel like what we've imagined, we're behind on that. Like
I feel like science fiction authors are way better predictors of the future than scientists.
Oh yeah,
always.
Oh yeah,
because they're more like philosophers. I would, if I could categorize myself as anything, it'd be a philosopher. I'm a science and technology nerd, but I'm really a future nerd. Like I'm a nerd of the future and
a futurist,
a science fiction nerd. That's really what I am. But I don't read science fiction. I read very little science fiction. I like to read factual science and then say, oh, where could this go? And just sort of try to imagine what this could lead to and the possibilities that this thing could create, good or bad. For every good possible outcome, there's a really negative one. So it's. And I think that comes down to us as humanity, as a collective society and organism. We need to work together because these are powerful tools that we've never even comprehended before. And having this level of power, we're already poor stewards of our blessings. We're poor stewards of our resources and of our technologies and our capabilities.
Stewards of our blessings. I like that.
But so we need to be better stewards of what we have, of this technology. We really all should work together and say, hey, this could create an amazing society and experience for all humans. And if we use it improperly, it could destroy all humans. It could empower very few and impoverish many and enslave many. It could be the largest form of slavery that's ever existed. So I think we have to all be responsible and be proactive and
no pressure.
Yeah. How do we do that?
I think
this slavery thing, I'm not a big fan of.
We need to. I think we should put a lot of emphasis on empathy and the desire to solve issues like poverty and these societal issues that we have to bring up everyone in the society, because I think we all need to work together as humans to work with this technology so it doesn't replace us or eliminate us, because it could just make us extinct.
So how do we retrain everybody to work together?
Well,
what we've built basically in the world is a society and a culture built on competing with one another to be the winner.
Well, competition is good.
I'm not saying it's not, but I mean that's totally at odds with we need to all work together for the group. Well, our whole thing for 200 years has been programming ourselves to not do that and to work towards individuality, and I'm above you and my goal is to pick and claw and outwork you so that I'm ahead of you. That's what our culture is.
Yeah, the rules are a little fucked up, yeah.
So how do we overcome that 200 years of hypnosis of this is the way things are, and we change to like, okay, we got to work together? How do we do that?
Well, I think you have to show the benefit. We all do things based on our personal interest and how it affects us and our families, and I think you show the benefits of us all working together and harnessing this technology, and also the benefits of having a more healthy society. You know, if you have a high floor in society, you eliminate poverty, then there's less crime. There's almost no crime. And then it's just all productivity. Then we can all focus on important things and say, oh, okay, we need to solve these problems. Let's work on this. And I think currently that may not be really possible. I think it is to an extent. I think it actually is. I think you just have to put some regulations in place to rebalance the economy. I think our society is very imbalanced. I think you have a situation right now where, like, if you or I stop paying our bills because we have a big loss or we lose our source of income, then we lose everything. We can be homeless. But if a big corporation loses, they make a poor decision, or they lose a bunch of accounts, or whatever happens, and their company goes bankrupt or risks bankruptcy, they have so much power over and influence over our government. The government just gives them money, our money, and bails them out. And so,
not always, but yes, like during the financial breakdown.
I mean, right now,
big companies.
Most of the inflation that we're experiencing right now is because trillions of dollars were given to big corporations during COVID. The majority of the money that was given out during COVID was given out to big corporations, not to individuals, or small businesses. It was the largest, most powerful corporations. So I think we need to find a way to show that with this technology we can make those companies even more successful, but we can also make small businesses more successful, individuals more successful, and not have poverty, and everybody will do better. And maybe you find a way to take these big corporations and divide them up and make them even more productive, because you need diversity. And if you have too much centralized power, you lack diversity, and you also lack innovation. Eventually that becomes a reverse problem. But
that's why socialism
collapses.
That's why socialism ends up not working.
Yeah,
because the money gets poured into that.
It's too much in one place.
Specific things, and then it stops the creativity that creates the next thing.
Yeah, you're clogging up everything.
Yeah.
But I think when everybody has a super intelligent genius assistant in their phone that can help them navigate life and coach them through life and help them make decisions, nobody makes bad decisions. Everybody can be as successful or just as simple as you want to be, but you won't be in poverty. Anyway, I think that's all the time we got. But.
Yeah, I just was instantly like, I think most people are driven on their decision making by their emotions and not their advanced technology and connection to
but
information.
But if this thing guides you in a way that makes your life better, then emotionally you're going to support it.
Right, that's true.
You'll be happier.
All right, well, man, I feel way more informed about this stuff, and
you don't feel any better.
Well, I think I just don't see the point in playing. Just getting it. It's just another gaming headset to me. You know what I mean? But
it's way beyond games. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I've seen of it so far, it's fine. It's cool. Look, I'm in the mountains. I'm on the lake. Oh no, I just bumped into the couch. And that breaks the whole thing. So I'm sure it'll be wonderful.
Yeah, I think you'll find some interesting uses for it
Cool.
when it's available.
All
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, yeah. My pleasure. Thank you.